Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome to another edition of Manigan's Movie Music Live on Love the Beat Radio with, of course, me, Reese Manigan. Hope you guys have had a good week, a pleasant week, a busy week, productive week. Whatever week you've had, I hope it's been a good one. Okay, so we've got a really good, exciting show today. It's going to be a really big, epic one. I have a special guest with me today. I will talk about that later on very soon. Today's pick a mix scene is Knock at the Cabin. Today's movie review is Heart Eyes. And, of course, also, today is going to be a bit EastEnd heavy as we need to talk about the 40th anniversary, of course, of EastEnders this week, which we'll talk about first, get that all out the way, and then we'll jump straight into what's the rest of the show. Okay, guys, but, of course, let's play our very first feel-good track of the day. So, how about a little bit of Horton Hears a Who, the main title sequence? Great little feel-good track to start off with your day. That was the Horton Hears a Who main title sequence by none other than John Pal. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan. Okay, so today I have a special guest with me who's come to talk about her brand new little film project and talk about her filmmaking journey herself. Please welcome Jennifer Santos. I did say your surname right, yeah? Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Welcome to the show. No, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming all the way down to do this show. And it's great to finally have another guest who I haven't had for a good couple of weeks now. So it's good to actually have someone in the studio this time. So, Jen, tell us a little bit about the film that you're making at the moment, maybe a little bit about your background. Go for it.
So we finished wrapping up our short film, Echoes of Us, in December last year, 2024. So it's currently being edited. It's in the works for the post-production. And we hope to have it screened in April. So if any of you guys are interested, you can follow us on Instagram at Echoes of Us Movie to keep up with that. It is sort of a story about a friendship. And that's like a platonic friendship between a man and a woman and the difficulties that you get there and the loveliness that you find between that. My background in film, I'm relatively new in the film industry. I mean, I sort of got into it like 2 years ago. Bought my first camera then and just like self-taught basically and found this wonderful community of creatives and got together and wrote a short film. So yeah. That's
really good. Well, it's not as long, you still got a lot to catch up on me because I've been doing it for 20 years. So that makes me sound very, very old now. But then it was funny because every time I say it's 20 years, people still think I'm like 20 or something like that. Like, you started when you were born.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
When I was a baby, I held a pencil. I had a notepad and a pen when I was born.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital and I started...
Yeah, you started in the womb.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I was just writing a journal with a script when I was in the womb, yeah. But no, that's amazing. That's really great. So this film, it's funny that you should say it's about friendship because a lot of my projects involve that as well, friendship. Because me being autistic and doing autism awareness films, it's always about interactions with people because all my life I've met nice people and horrible people. Most of them have been horrible, unfortunately. And it's very hard to make friends and find the people that I can interact with. So I always make those sort of stories about characters trying to interact with other people. So that film sounds like it could be quite relatable in my subject. So that's even better. Yeah. So that's even really, really good.
I mean, first of all, sorry that you've encountered a lot of horrible people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's not great. I mean, we all know a few horrible people here and there. But I think when we wrote this story, in me personally, I kind of wanted to go away from the cliche of the romance of the whole boy meets girl and
I can't stand that
either. I mean, we have a little bit of an issue within the story where our protagonist does sort of develop feelings for his friend, but then it's how they kind of navigate that within their friendship. Because it's only normal, right? If you're attracted to your friend, then you are going to develp feelings for them the more time you spend with them.
That is true.
But not necessarily all the time is it requited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... you get me?
Yeah.
Can't find the word
I kind of
now.
got the adjust to that,
Yeah, so that's kind of like where we see like the betrayals and also the lovely build-up of a friendship. So,
that's really interesting. Do you know what? I can't wait to see that. I'm really excited. But I got the lucky chance to see the behind the scenes because they actually filmed it at my coffee shop where I work.
Yeah.
And that's where we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we met. And because obviously we know Dio.
Yeah.
And he's a film creative.
Shout
and hopefully I'll be able
Dio.
to get, if he's listening, hello Dio. And, he's a creative as well. And so that's how me and him kind of got on, because he was like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that. And then me and you met, and then we vibed, and it was like, because as soon as I said to you, because I get this all the time, I'm a film director, it's like, give us your contact details straight away. I was like, oh, here we go, you know. And then but it was just, I thought I had to get you on the show to talk about it, and you know, from one film creative to another, it had to be that sort of thing, because this is what the radio show is all about. It's about, even if you haven't done your film or you haven't written your script or whatever, it's good that you're coming on the show to talk about it, because most people nowadays say to me, yeah, but I haven't. I'm like, yeah, but it's not about you finishing it. You're doing it. Yeah. Come on the show and talk about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this is what the show's all about, because no one respects indie filmmakers a lot, really. I mean, I should know, because I've got a premiere. You say you got a premiere. I've got a premiere next month.
Yeah, congratulations.
And thank you very much. But what, again, it's like the high contacts that I have, they look at my premiere lit and they're going, oh, congratulations, good luck with that. Yeah. And it's like, so you don't want to come and support the indie film then? Yeah. But then they go off and support a big feature that was made with money that you could buy a car with and whatever. And it's like, yeah, I can understand that, because also you've got your celebrity mates going. Yeah. But it's not about that. You should take a look at the film as a piece of art and think, wow, he's made that, she's made that, I'll go and support that, but they don't see it that way.
It's difficult to forget that it's a business at the end of the day, isn't it? So people who are investing into it, they want to see a return. Yeah. And that's why it's so difficult. That's why your first few short films are going to be no budget. They're going to have no funding unless you actively search for it and you campaign and you get the investors. So yeah, it's very difficult to get that support behind you. So you have to sort of build your repertoire of films and get that out there. So you have like a CV to show people, like, this is what you're backing.
I do, yes. And I can honestly say that budgets and all that doesn't matter to me, because I've made 6 feature films with no budget. I'm on my 7th one now, which I can honestly promise you it's going to be the craziest film I've ever made, which I cannot wait to make this year. I'm so buzzed. And I really hope people do come and see this one, because I can honestly tell you, if they don't, they are missing out big time, because I've never made a film like this before. And people need to come and see it. Amazing. So, and I'm going to be releasing it on my actual 20th anniversary date, which is the October 2nd. Yeah. So I am making sure that a load of people come and see this one, but they have to, because like I said, no one has seen a film like this before. And I mean, the fact that I even wrote it and made it is insane. And because, and also what I've done with it is I haven't held back. I've done jokes in it that you can't joke about nowadays, because everyone finds it offensive, even though it isn't that offensive. But I don't care. I've gone, do you know what? This is a dark comedy. I'm going to write it, and I'm going to do what I want to do with it. Yeah. And amazingly, some of the actors who are going to be in it, they loved it. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, because most of the comments were, you can never make a film like this today. That's why I want to be in it. And I went, exactly why I'm making it. Yeah. So when people are going to watch it, they're going to be in for a very big surprise, because it is meant to make you laugh a lot. Yeah. And I'm going to say to people, when I introduce it, I'm literally going to say to people, look, if you're the offended type that doesn't like a certain joke, do us a favour. You can leave, write your little comments. I'll take your comments and I'll flush you down the toilet. But remember, guys, they're just jokes, because we're all going to die someday and none of this is going to matter. So just enjoy yourselves. Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. Because and if people don't want to, they're happy to walk out. Yeah, exactly. But they are going to be missing out, believe me, because the idea I have for this story is hilarious. It's insane. I'll talk about it to you when we're off the air. But honestly, I think people are going to love the insanity of this idea. That's so exciting. Yeah.
How do you find your inspiration?
People think I'm on drugs, but I'm not. I swear, I don't touch this stuff. But that's the beauty about being autistic. You can look at different perspectives and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this." Yeah. But the only problem is explaining it, because it's like, how can I explain this one? Because I know now. Well, let's just say I have pitched stories to some people, and they've gone, no one is going to want to make that. Yeah. And then I go and make it as a short film, no budget, and then they'll go, now I kind of see what it is you were trying to do. Yeah. And it's like, but you didn't get it when, you know. It's
so interesting. It must be like a cool source or a medium for you to show people what you're seeing in your brain. that's why I love all forms of art, movies, like actual paintings,
Yeah.
music, because it just expresses what the artist is thinking, what they're feeling. And then when you relate to it, it makes it even more special because you're like, oh, I'm not the only one that feels like this, or the only one that thinks like this.
Exactly, definitely. And with this, the bucket it's not really a personal film. It's just something that let's just say I want to release all my craziness into this film and say, this is how also my mind works. You're looking into a mind of an autistic creator, and this is the life of the insanity that's going to go inside of it. That's for me. So I can get away with that.
I need to find an excuse.
Well, I'll just be like, look, see that? That's proof. Okay, guys. Okay, well, listen, Jen, it's great to have you on the show. So we're going to be talking more about films and stuff as we go about. But, of course, I need to talk about the elephant in the room after the next track, which is, of course, the 40th anniversary of EastEnders. I just want to try and get that all out the way because there's some funny things I want to show to my listeners about that show. But first, the next track is from Alan Silvestri. This is the stagecoach scene from The Night of the Museum. Epic track there from Alan Silvestri, Stagecoach from Night Museum. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and Jennifer Santos.
Hi.
So, right, let's get this little conversation out the way first of all. Now, we all know that EastEnders has turned 40 this week. Congratulations to EastEnders. I, for one, do watch EastEnders now and again, and I have for many years. And, you know, whenever there's a really interesting storyline or some actor that I know is on it, you know, I do tend to watch it. And of course, Danny Dyer was one of my favourites, and now he's no longer there. And I will admit the show had its hit and moments since then. But this week, I will admit, was actually pretty decent. They had an explosion. There was a love triangle. There was a depression storyline. There was a killer who got killed by a bathtub, literally, like, you know, and unfortunately, one of our big main characters did pass away, which, spoiler alert, it was Martin Fowler after 10 years. So, big, strong death in the soap, and very unexpected, I will admit, because I didn't expect Martin Fowler to be passed in EastEnders. I was quite shocked, but yeah, I think the cast and crew did an amazing job. The stunts were brilliant. The effects were really good. But to be honest, this is going to make everyone's going to be like, why that one? But my highlight for me at the moment was the Phil Mitchell storyline with his depression, because I, for one, have suffered with depression in the past. Not as severe as Phil Mitchell's, I will admit, but I have had moments of depression in my life. And to be honest, that storyline really was absolutely epic. It was well related. And I need to say that if Steve McFadden does not win an award for that storyline, I will literally write a massive hate letter to the awards and say, how dare you not see a good performance when you see it? Because, I mean, Steve McFadden's been on EastEnders for now 35 years. And, I mean, honestly, he's such an underrated actor. I mean, he's done so many big moments on the soap. And, you know, he's played a villain. He's played an anti-hero. He's tried to be a father. And he's a thug then in the next minute. And the storyline with his depression, I've got to admit, was probably the best one he's done in a long time. So, well done to Steve McFadden. Seriously, absolute honour that he'd done that and pulled the storyline off really well. And, you know, normally it's funny because I know EastEnders is all fake and everything. And obviously I don't normally get emotional with stuff like that. But I will admit, the storyline with that was the first time I actually got really emotional with it. I was actually like, wow, this is really relatable. And there were tears in my eyes at one point. And I was just like, I can't believe that this is so relatable in some ways. It was really, really strong. So, yeah, I mean, well done to EastEnders for what they've done. But, yeah, the explosion as well was epic. I mean, my God, it was something like a Die Hard or something. They really pulled it off very well. And, it was better than I thought it was going to be, because sometimes when you hear about a stunt, you sometimes think, yeah, but is it going to pull off? Is it going to do well? But I will say that the special effects and the editing was top notch. So, well done. And also my missus has been showing me this week, because she's a fan of Emmerdale, and Emmerdale done a quite big stunt this week as well. Apparently they had a limo stuck on an ice lake, and the limo was sinking, and a couple of characters died that week as well. So Emmerdale had some tough competition there as well. So it was literally the battle of the soaps this week.
It's always like that, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think EastEnders definitely topped it off. But even Emmerdale, I mean, I don't watch Emmerdale really, but my missus was watching it, and I was checking it out, and I would admit it was even really good how they managed to pull it off. And when I watched some behind the scenes, the color grading was incredible.
Yeah.
How it looked like it was filmed at night, and it was actually filmed in the day, and like the color grading was absolutely incredible. So well done to Emmerdale as well. So I mean, I know some people sometimes say about soaps, oh, they're this, there, but you have to admit, though, how they work on soaps is really incredible, because I've heard many times that it is like a well-oiled machine. They have to memorize all these lines. They have to get all these scripts done. They have to be there at certain times and everything. And so it is hard work for them. So well done. They paid it off, and they did a live episode yesterday. And for once, there was no mistakes.
Oh, there was a live episode.
They did a live episode yesterday.
Yeah.
And they pulled it off. And for once, there was no mistakes, because the last live episode they'd done was for their 30th anniversary 10 years ago. And this is very well known. So one of the actors accidentally said the real actor's name instead of the character's name.
Yes, I remember that.
How's Adam? And his name was meant to be Ian, but she went, how's Adam?
Yes,
And
I remember that.
I remember when they were advertising for this live episode, someone said, can someone actually say how's Adam again? And I was like, I actually hope someone says that. That would be such a
still
laugh.
in the show?
Yeah, he's still in it. Yeah,
nice.
Ian Bill, he's been in it since the very start, and he did really well this week. And so did his mum, Kathy Bill, because she was revealed to be the Warford whacker who hit Cindy Bill on Christmas Day with the snow shovel, which I will admit was, I was a little bit disappointed with that, because I was hoping, I had an inkling who it could have been, but it kind of went down, it was one of them sort of routes, and I was kind of hoping there was a twist. Yeah. So I was a bit disappointed with the reveal. I was a bit disappointed with how one of the villains got killed off in the explosion with the bathtub thing, because it was, I know you probably didn't see it, but basically what happened was he comes out, and then he gets pushed, and then this roof almost caves in, and he goes, oh, that was close, wasn't it? Then this bathtub just lands on him, and I was like, were they just trying to do like a Looney Tunes thing there? You know, like, yeah, that was close, and then poof, and then that's all, like folks. And I was like, and I sat there, and I was like, he can't be dead because of that. And then it turns, and I was like, oh, what a waste. What a waste. Like, this is what annoys me a little bit, when the writers get a bit lazy, and they go, right, how can we kill off this villain? How can we... Oh, I know. Let's do a Looney Tunes gag and put a bathtub on his head. And it's like, oh, dear.
I think the best EastEnders death for me was Ronnie and Roxy.
Oh, but that had a lot of hate.
Really?
Yeah, because I read a lot about behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So there was a producer called Sean O'Connor who took over the show. And he wanted to axe Ronnie and Roxy because he said they ran their course. But he got a lot of hate for it because everybody loved Ronnie and Roxy. Yeah. Everyone said they could have gone on forever. But people could probably be controversial with me on this, but I kind of was on the producer's side. Yeah. Because if you think about it, Roxy and Ronnie's storylines were a bit going down the drain. So we had the whole Ronnie and Jack on, off. And then we had Ronnie killed Carl White. Roxy was just sleeping with every bloke on the square. Like she was a mother, and she was still acting like she was a teenager, sleeping around with boys. And it was like she didn't grow up, you know what I mean? And it was like they're just doing the same thing over and over and over. I mean, don't get me wrong. When they first came on the square, they were brilliant. Yeah. And also they had Archie Mitchell, who was one of my favourite villains. I mean, I loved the Archie Mitchell character. And then of course they had the Danielle storyline, which I was so invested in. When they killed her off, I was gutted. Yeah. But that was that's actually one of my favourite episodes of EastEnders ever. Like, I remember going like, no, scream at the telly. Like, how could you kill off Danielle? And that got a lot of hate as well. But at the same time, the reason they done that was because they said Ronnie's character would have also become boring. So it's understandable that they done what they did. But yeah, I just kind of think they did run their course, and I was actually on the producer's side, and in a way, it kind of refreshed the show a bit. You know, that year you had Max's return. He wanted revenge on the square because he got done for for Lucy's murder when it was Bobby Beale, and you know, you never knew what he was planning. And Max Branning was such a superb character. And then you had Mick and Linda's relationship storyline because he kissed Whitney and all that, and you know that was a bit bizarre. But you know, there was some good moments on that year. But but I can understand. Yeah, the death was quite epic and very haunting. But oh my god, everyone on social media was like, "You should have killed them off." It was like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Bring back Ronnie," but they're dead.
Oh, don't worry though. Soaps can bring back people.
Oh, yeah.
Kill them off, bring them back. Like that's the thing that I admire about soaps. As much as I don't really rate them as much, it's impressive that you can keep a show running for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, you have to rinse storylines because what else can you do?
Exactly.
Right? And characters must change so much. Like their personalities are just not
But
consistent.
sometimes the problem with that is what I don't like what they do. Let's, for example, the cat and Alfie.
Yeah.
Like when they were in it at the very beginning, they were brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, it's become a joke because you had Cat having affairs and then she got pregnant with by another bloke, and it just ruins the atmosphere. And then it just kind of goes down this route, and you're like, what is going on? It gets messy.
Just kill them off.
Yeah, it's literally. I mean, yeah. But I always went back to the golden ages when they first came into it, and I thought, no, that was Cat and Alfie then.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like they've gone into a jokes and parodies of themselves, and that's the problem with having the character in for too long. I think the only character I can think of that stayed the same throughout her entire run was Dot Cotton.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, she was always the same,
Yeah.
and she was an absolute legend.
Yeah,
like
she
was incredible, and nothing got past Dot Cotton.
Yeah.
Like, she was amazing, and you know, and when I heard that she passed away, I was like, you know, EastEnders have now lost probably their best character, and you know, who wasn't a parody of herself. Like, Dot Cotton was Dot Cotton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, let's jump into this little thing I want to do really quickly about EastEnders. So we all know the famous theme tune with the duff, duff, duff. But here's a funny thing. Has anyone ever heard the theme tune backwards?
No.
Well, I'm going to play it for you now. So here's the EastEnders theme tune backwards. Have a little listen.
That was great.
That's the EastEnders theme tune gone backwards. That was really catchy, isn't it?
That was really
Especially
happy.
the last bit. If only that was like the end credits.
Yeah.
You know, that was the end credits, and the theme tune is the first bit.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. Right, so that was the EastEnders theme tune backwards. Has anyone ever heard the theme tune sped up?
Ooh.
So this is EastEnders on speed.
What a jam.
Sounds like a bird singing at the end of it, doesn't it? Like a little whistle at the end of it.
Giving me Teletubbies vibes.
Yeah.
That was a jam.
That was actually pretty catchy, yeah. But I like the backwards theme better. The backwards theme is definitely better. I tell you what, should we play it again? Let's play the backwards theme one more time. Because I actually really enjoyed that. Let's play it one more time. Oh, that is great. I love it. That is such a catchy theme. Okay, guys. So let's, I think that puts on a wrap on the whole EastEnders conversation now. But yeah, by the way, if you guys are listening, what did you guys think of the EastEnders 40th anniversary? If you tuned in, you must have tuned in this week. I mean, come on. Everyone likes to find out who dies and doesn't die. I know you probably saw it. You can email me with maniganmoviemusic@yahoo.com. That's maniganmoviemusic@yahoo.com. And make sure that you spell my name correct. It's Manigan. That's Manigan. Okay, right, let's time for play to another track. Next up is the movie review, Heart Eyes. And this is a little ditty from All Dogs Go to Heaven Part 2. Beautiful little track there from All Dogs Go to Heaven Part 2. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and Jennifer.
Hi.
Okay, so let's talk about the movie Heart Eyes. You just said to me that you're not a fan of horror.
I'm not. I'm so sorry.
Oh, so bad. But it's fine. This is going to be a spoiler-free review anyway, so don't worry about it if you haven't seen it. So I saw Heart Eyes just recently with my missus. We said we was watching it during Valentine's, and of course we saw the new Bridget Jones film as well. But I want to talk about Heart Eyes because that definitely left more of a funny impact on me. So Heart Eyes is a dark comedy slasher horror film from the producers of Scream 5, and it also has one of the actors from Scream 5 in the movie. But yeah, it's basically Scream set on Valentine's, but is it cliched? Actually, it isn't. This is what made Heart Eyes very different from other slasher films that you see nowadays. Now, nowadays, you get a slasher film, and it's just a lunatic going around killing people, and then it's a whodunit, oh, it was them, blah, blah, blah. And it's the usual. But actually, what makes it Heart Eyes more different is it actually is more character-focused. You focus on the two lead actors, who, by the way, are so good, and their chemistry is out of this world. Like, they did a really good job with their chemistry. And you focus more on them than the killer. And the killer pops up when you don't expect it. Yeah. So you get the first big scene like Scream did. You get the big murder scene to give this introduction of the killer. And then you've got like a good 15 minutes with the two lead characters. And then all of a sudden, bang, the killer's back. And it's, oh my God. And then, it's kind of like you almost forget that there was a killer in the first place. And then all of a sudden, he just pops back in. And yeah, that's what I loved about it. It was very more character driven than a cliched, romancy film. And what makes it even cleverer is the meeting of these two characters is very realistic. It isn't, oh, we've met and oh, you're sexy. Let's get together. It's not like that. In fact, they don't really get on in the first part of the film. And it's just very realistic. And I kind of like that. They don't like look at each other and think, oh, wow. And if it's kind of awkward, kind of a bit uncivil, but then they gradually slowly bond and everything. I mean, okay, the only cliche thing I would say is, oh, you love that person, even though you've only known for like 14 hours. I mean, for goodness sake. I mean, say you've got a crush on them. I would prefer that. You got a crush on him. Yeah. Then you can but instead using the word love is a bit strong. That's the only criticism I would say. But it is good because, they don't jump right into it. They don't try to make out that they love each other. It actually just makes it build up. So, to be honest, it's very cleverly done in some places. Yeah, there are definitely some flaws. Some of the jokes don't work. Sometimes it tries to be too silly-ish in some places. But I will admit, it was more decent than I thought it was going to be, and I love the violence in it. It's very comical-ish and very brutal. So, yeah, well done on that, because there are some real shocking moments that you're like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that sort of death in the film, and, oh, that's got her, and, yeah, so there are some shocking moments, but it was really, really good, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun, and that's the idea of it. It's just a fun film. It's not meant to be a masterpiece, romantic blockbuster of a film. It's just meant to be a fun movie that you take your boyfriend, girlfriend, boy, wherever you were, whoever you're with, you go out and see this film, you have your popcorn, you laugh at it, and then you go, that was so cheesy.
Can you imagine what your partner must be thinking if you take them out to see this movie?
Well, I did take her. She said it was all right. She I don't think she enjoyed it as much as I did, but she loved the violent scenes.
It's like, what's the message you're trying to send me here?
The message is, if you want a fun film and there's nothing on the telly, and you fancy an adrenaline movie, I fancy go and check this movie. And then you can compare your relationship to the ones comes on telly and go, thank God we didn't meet like that.
Thank God we didn't die like that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah, especially on Valentine's.
Cool, you sold it. You sold it to me.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I mean, have you got a partner?
Yeah, next year I'll watch it.
Okay, there you go.
Day.
Well, if it comes on streaming, just put it on. I'm sure Netflix will have it soon. And then, you can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if it's on Netflix, well, I'll call you up and go, it's on. Watch it tonight with it, Get your popcorn out.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but it is a fun film, and but like I said, it's not for the easily squeamish. As I said, the violence is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But if you do like a fun film that doesn't take itself seriously, but is really done well, character driven, then I would recommend you go see Heart Eyes. But yeah, I mean, it was a really fun project. But speaking of cinema, I am going to see The Monkey later today, which I am absolutely buzzed about. I've been so excited to see this film. I have heard this movie is worse than Heart Eyes due to its violence. So I cannot wait. And Stephen King, who wrote the book, has seen the movie already, and he said it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He said there's not a film like this because it is bonkers. And I can't wait. So you say you're not a fan of horror.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick your brain here. But is there actually a horror film you have seen and thought, that's not too bad?
It's difficult because I don't mind a thriller. A horror, for me, it's just not my thing. I think the lack of story, because it's all just killing, right? It's all just scary.
Well, not always. Not always.
I'm trying to think. I didn't mind but then I don't know what constitutes as a horror and what's a thriller.
Okay, so give me a thriller. Well, give me a title name, and I'll let you know if it's a horror / thriller.
Okay.
Maybe
There was that one, Quiet.
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Right. I would say that was definitely a horror because of the alien
Really?
monster, but that I would say is a suspenseful horror.
Okay.
So where there's quiet and silent, but that's a brilliant one. That's a great horror film. So
that one I enjoyed.
Yeah, that one is really, really good. Have you seen the sequel yet?
No, I haven't.
The sequel is just as good.
Just as good.
But yeah,
I'll tell you what I think is a horror that I really enjoyed. Us.
Yes.
Us was good.
That's a really good Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Brilliant one. Have you watched Get Out?
Get Out, yes.
And have you seen Nope?
You know what? I went to the cinema to see Nope, and the fire alarm went off halfway through the film.
No.
And we had to leave, and they gave us vouchers to come back to rewatch it, and we just never went to rewatch it.
No.
So I know half the movie.
Well,
And then
I
watch the
definitely
end.
recommend you watch Nope because
Fair.
that is
Yeah.
it's not his best one, but it was really
Yeah.
good. I mean, I went to the IMAX to
Yeah.
see that, and
Oh,
it
wow.
was thrilling.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I think Nope you will enjoy because, it's horror, but really it's again a suspense film,
Yeah.
and there's definitely comedy moments in it as
Yeah.
well, and there isn't really much violence in it, but
Yeah.
did you get to the part where they discover what the thing is in the sky?
No.
Right, so I'm not going to spoil that because you need to watch it because of
Yeah.
that, because it might surprise you
Okay.
what that thing is in
Yeah,
the sky.
fair enough.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely recommend you watch Nope because it is a really good film,
Yeah.
and it's a shame you didn't get the big screen experience because it is a film you should have seen in the big screen because there are certain moments in it where this thing is like flying through towards you, and the shot where you've got the main character, the body, and you're just like, whoa, like it's a thrilling moment.
Yeah.
So I pity that you
Yeah.
didn't. I literally, my heart goes out to you. that stupid fire alarm because someone
what?
probably burnt their toast.
I thought it was part of the movie. I was like, oh, is this a
alien
4D
invasion? Yeah.
experience?
Can you imagine? By the way, we've got a real alien invasion. You
Yeah.
might want to get out. And you went, nope.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I think I enjoy the horror films that have
Suspense.
and more of a social like something horrible to say, right? When you realize and you're like, oh god, that thought is scarier than the actual violence.
Yeah.
Because yes, things like Scream, Saw, I'm just not going to sit down and watch those. I mean, I've been to the Saw maze and I had my eyes closed the entire
Well, the Scream
maze.
franchise, I can tell you, is definitely better than Saw.
Really?
Scream, what makes Scream work, right? So if I recommend, I will recommend you watch maybe the first Scream, just because, first of all, it is a classic.
Yeah.
And secondly, even though, yes, it is a horror, it is also more of a thriller as well. But you will like it because it parodies horror genres themselves. Because what makes Scream really clever is, it's a whodunit.
Yeah.
It is a story about a mass killer going around killing people. But what makes it work is they do joke about cliches. So I do recommend you give the first Scream a go because you might be invested and then you might want to end up watching the second one after.
How many are there now?
Well, no. I would just say watch the first one.
Okay.
And then watch, if you do get into it, then definitely watch the second one.
Yeah.
And then I will tell you to watch maybe the fifth one.
Okay.
Because the third one, I will admit, is the worst one because it's just not great.
Yeah.
The fourth one, a bit of an improvement.
Yeah.
But the fifth one, it kind of goes back to its roots. So in my ranking, it goes 1, 2, and 5.
Okay.
So, I would definitely throw that into you
All
there.
right,
So, there you go. Okay, right. So I think it's time for another track. We'll try and squeeze one in. So you said you like Braveheart.
Yes.
So how about we play a bit of Braveheart just to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
But we've got more stuff coming up, guys. Pick a Mix is on its way, but stay tuned. More stuff coming up right now. I absolutely love that track. I don't know if I've played it before, but if I haven't, I've played it now. That was from Totoro, Cat Bus Theme. Great movie on Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio. You're tuning in today with me, Reese Manigan, and my special guest today,
Jennifer Santos.
There you go. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you so far. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, 100%. I always love to talk. So
amazing. Well, if you didn't talk on the radio, it would be a bit odd. I've got a special guest here. Well, say something. Come on, people aren't going to believe me. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so we are now going to do Pick a Mix. This is everybody's favourite feature, I think, on the show. I think this is the only reason why people tune in now. But I don't know.
It is great.
So if you don't know what Pick a Mix is, guys, it's basically where I take a scene from a certain film and I parody the scene. Last week I did A Million Ways to Die in the West. The week before I think it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Before that I did Mary Poppins. I've done Psycho, Misery, Split, Shining, and now I'm doing Knock at the Cabin. So in this scene, if you haven't seen the movie, don't worry. There isn't really a spoiler in this. It's just a bit of a conversation. Basically, the scene is where I've got 4 random people who have come at my door. I think they're salesmen. And it turns out they're going to tell me something else, but I don't know if I should believe them or not. So, without further ado, guys, here's Pick a Mix, Knock at the Cabin. Okay, so that was Pick a Mix, Knock at the Cabin, and Jen's laughing.
That is great.
So what do you think of Pick a Mix?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea. It's so cool. So, imaginative as well.
I mean, I had to get a feature on my show to do something fun.
Yeah.
And the idea of that, I mean, I tell some of the listeners most of the time, but every guest who comes on, they don't know what Pick a Mix is. And so they listen to it and then they think, oh, wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And basically, the idea of picking the name Pick a Mix was such a laugh because me and my missus was trying to think of a name, and I had one. It was called Film Noirsence, but that was just a hilarious one because she was like, "Doesn't sound radio-y. You have to make it." And I was like, "Yeah, can you imagine if people say, oh, we're listening to Reese's Film Noirsence,' and they have to pronounce it like that?
Yeah,
they literally have to go Noirsence." Oh god, but that was Pick a Mix. And that was Knock at the Cabin. So you haven't seen the movie yet, though.
You know what? I feel like after listening to that, I think I have. Is that right at the end?
That's the scene. Well, no, that's the beginning where they come into the cabin and they tell the 2 men with their daughter that one of them has to die because of the apocalypse. Okay. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's a thriller. Yeah. So not much of a horror. It's definitely a thriller. Yeah. Dave, what's his name? Dave, is it Bastavu? He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
you know,
Dave Bautista.
That's it, yeah. He plays the lead guy in it. That was his voice. Oh. It's also got Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley in the film. He plays a character called Redmond, but he's a very vicious character in there. He's not like Ron at all. Okay. Very, very interesting character. Yeah. And that's basically the plot. They break into their cabin and they say to the 2 guys, one of you has to sacrifice because if you don't, the apocalypse is going to end. But are they telling the truth, or is this some sort of homophobic thing going on? Oh. Because basically, what makes this film interesting is there are moments where when they're convincing them, it looks real. But then there are moments where like, hang on a minute, that doesn't sound true. And then there's a twist a little bit saying that it could be false. It could just be these lunatics breaking it. So it really does play on your mind.
Ooh.
So whether they're telling the truth or not, you're going to have to watch the film.
Yeah.
But it's a really decent film. It's M. Night Shyamalan, who directed The Sixth Sense, Split, Glass and everything. I mean, I know he's had a reputation of mixed reviewed films, but I will say since I'd say The Visit, he's definitely improved on his movies. I mean, I think M. Night Shyamalan is an inspiration. I mean, he manages to fund his own films and he manages to get distribution and everything. I mean, he's such an incredible filmmaker. The only thing I do criticise is his writing. He does like to over-explain things a lot. But his stories are very unique. Like, you know, how he manages to execute some of his stories. And the thing is, I do get quite invested. I mean, his last film, Trap, was really a fun film about the serial killer who goes to the concert with his daughter, but the police know that he's in there and it's all a trap. So that's a really good. I definitely recommend that one. So that one I think you'll love because it's definitely not a horror, definitely a thriller, but there's definitely loads of funny moments in it. Like, and it does kind of make you think, where's it gonna go? And it's just fun. Like, so again, I mean, I'm just gonna recommend you all these films now.
100%
just make you a list. But yeah, so Trap is another one of M. Night Shyamalan's. But again, there's also the ending is very satisfying to that. I'm going to say that. It's, so Knock at the Cabin. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a go. But that was my pick and mix scene where I think that he's trying to sell me a toaster, even though he's telling me that I have to either kill my budgie or my dog. I don't know, like, you know. I don't know. Okay, guys, it's time for another track. So we're going to play one and then we're going to talk more about some stuff that's coming up, more movie news and everything like that. So yeah, please stay tuned. Beautiful track there from the movie Rockadoodle by Robert Folk. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and
Jennifer Santos.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, and everyone's been loving the tracks and the pick-a-mix and everything like that. So now my mission is to talk about the updates of some of the movie news that's been going on and to discuss it. So let me just hop onto the page that I normally go on to. So, okay, the first part that's come up is Martin Scorsese is to direct with Leonardo DiCaprio, Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt in a Hawaiian crime movie. So it says at the ripe old age of 82, Martin Scorsese could be forgiven for slowing things down a little, for taking some time out to watch Captain America: Brave New World, but vacation evidently not a word in the director's vocabulary. As he's teaming with DiCaprio, who of course he did with Killers of the Flower Moon and other projects, obviously. But he's directing a new Hawaiian thriller to star Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt.
Interesting.
Now it's quite weird that should happen because Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson were in a movie called Jungle Cruise.
Oh.
And it's kind of funny that now they're going to be set together on a Hawaiian island. Maybe it's the same characters and they got stuck on Hawaii.
Ooh, a parallel universe.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe Dwayne Johnson accidentally was doing the new Moana film and it just ended up being in a Martin Scorsese film. See, maybe that's the new Moana film. Maybe that's the Martin Scorsese version.
You just walked in on the wrong set.
Yeah. Oh no! Let's just see though if Dwayne Johnson has to wear a wig in this one though. That'd be quite interesting. But I just find it odd to see that Dwayne Johnson in a Martin Scorsese film. I never would have pictured that.
Same.
I mean, like, how does that work?
I don't know. I guess he's got to be a little bit more serious, right? Like, I guess we're going to really see his acting potential.
I mean, I was going to say, because to be in a Martin Scorsese film, you have to have the potential. I mean, Martin Scorsese doesn't really just pick on anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even want Jonah Hill in what was it, The Wolf of Wall Street. But he was desperate to be in the film.
Yeah.
So Martin Scorsese said, yeah, but you're going to be the least paid. So Jonah was like, that's fine. So he only literally took a very short amount of pay to be in this movie.
Wow. So, yeah, I guess Dwayne Johnson really did well in his audition then.
Well, either that or Martin was kind of thinking, let's get someone a bit different this time to spice up my filmography, maybe.
Is he even Hawaiian?
What?
Dwayne Johnson is even
He is Hawaiian, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He actually is, yeah, because that's how he got picked for Moana. because he does have Hawaiian roots.
Fair enough. Okay, then that's probably why. I mean, do we know any other Hawaiian big names?
I can have a look right now, actually. Let's have a look. So, Hawaiian actors.
Because he probably didn't have many to choose
Because Emily
from.
Blunt is British.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jason
Momoa.
Yeah, he's it. Oh, my God, I can't even pronounce some of these names. I do apologise. Oh, Nicole Scherzinger.
Really?
Yeah, she's on the list. Jason Scott Lee. Yeah, I knew that. He was Mowgli in the live-action Jungle Book in the 90s. And he was in Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, no way. As who?
He was it David, the boyfriend?
Oh, the boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, it's
love
Jason
that
Scott
film.
Lee. Maggie Q.
Yeah.
I don't know most of these names, apparently. Betty Midler. Betty Midler was Hawaiian. Okay.
So, yeah, there's not a lot
Kelly
of...
Preston. Sorry, Kelly Preston, who married John Travolta.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was there. May she rest in peace. Okay, I'm just looking, still looking. The list goes on. Blah, 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 blah. No. Okay, yeah, I think that's it.
You didn't have many choices then, to be fair.
No, not really. Oh, hang on. There's another name that might have come up that I might know. Oh, yeah, he was Jacob Batalon. He was Spider-Man. He was the Spider-Man guy.
Oh, the friend in Homecoming.
That's it, yeah. So he's Hawaiian. Okay. Yeah. All right, so there's a few.
Yeah.
So not many, but
Yeah.
Just enough. But maybe there was a reason. Well, obviously, because Dwayne Johnson is probably a most bankable name now, isn't it, to be fair? I mean, everything he's in, even if it's a really bad film, he's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it's Martin Scorsese. Then, the guy's a genius. I mean, have you seen Flowers of the Killer Moon?
I did, yeah.
It's so good. So good. And the actress' first role as well. And
she was amazing.
Oh, she was incredible. She absolutely, and now she's gone off to do more films.
Yeah.
Like, she absolutely deserved it. I mean, amazing movie. I was so excited to see it. I mean, the thing is, with Martin Scorsese, like, you just have to grab one of his movies, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Shutter Island I love, and Wolf of Wall Street was brilliant. But, funny enough, my favourite movie he's actually ever done is the underrated Cape Fear with Robert De Niro.
Ooh, I haven't watched that one yet.
Oh, that is brutal, but so good. So if you haven't seen Cape Fear, the 1991 version, definitely check it out. It's so good. Robert De Niro's terrifying in the film. Like, he's absolutely menacing. Yeah. But that film, it grips me. Yeah. So good.
I feel like long movies are now the the fashion of today. Like, everyone
it is for mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
He makes a film that's 4 hours long. It's no wonder why his trailers are like 20 minutes.
But even like Oppenheimer was just unnecessarily long.
Oh, I loved Oppenheimer.
Oh, I've got mixed reviews for that one. I think that
it's because you probably prefer Barbie.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to a sexist thing now. She's gonna prefer Barbie. I'm gonna prefer Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's a man's film. Barbie's the ladies' film.
I loved when the bomb exploded, and that was about it. That was the best part of the film, when it went silent and the bomb exploded. I think
that's why everyone just wanted to go see I just want to go see the bomb explode. Yeah. And then all the wives left the theatre, and the blokes are like, "This is getting good. This is getting good."
I think it was just unnecessarily long. I think it was a lot of tell, not show, which was just unnecessary. But what I did watch recently that was very long and was very good was The Brutalist.
I haven't really had a chance to see that one yet. I mean, to be honest, history films are a bit of a mixed bag for me.
Fair enough. But it's not even a real person, which I was.
I thought it was based on a true story.
No, it's not. It's inspired by a lot I thought
because I thought it was about an actual person that Adrian Brody was meant to be playing, and
which I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. I feel like it makes the film even more creative.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Well, then now I know it is, and I'll definitely have a look into it.
It was very good, and it felt like the pacing was perfect. It didn't feel too long. It felt just right. It was good. It was good.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's not on my 100% watch list, but if I ever do get a chance, I definitely will.
Yeah.
But there is a film that is out now that I'm definitely going to go see very soon, called Memoir of a Snail. It's an animated, stop motion animated film, but it's for adults.
Okay.
And I've heard it's a tragic comedy drama. So I don't know. I mean, I do want to go see it, but I think it's going to make me cry.
Fair enough.
But I will still go check it out.
I love films that make me cry. I think that's just amazing.
Well,
I
then you'll
think-
probably want to go see Memoirs of a
Yeah.
Star. Oh, I'll tell you what, you go see it first, then call me up and say, yeah, this is going to make you cry. Just to
Yeah.
give me a heads up, and I'll go, all right, I'll bring the box of tissues then, just in case, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's amazing. If a film can make you cry, I think that they've done an amazing job.
Yeah, and also the fact that you have a soul. You know, I mean, can you imagine watching
sensitive.
Bambi going like, oh, well, and you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, they just stopped drawing the deer now. And it's like Lion King, they just stopped drawing Mufasa.
Yeah.
And it's like Land Before Time, they just stopped drawing Littlefoot's mum. Or it's like, I don't know, another notable death in a film, Saving Private Ryan, when Tom Hanks' character gets killed. Yeah, Tom Hanks just stopped filming.
Yeah.
You know, he went home. I don't know, but anyway, I mean, I am a bit of a softie when it comes to some subjects, but I mean, I don't really know what Memoirs of a Snail is about.
Yeah.
All I do know is it's a tragic, dark comedy drama, and because it's stop motion and because it's for adults, I'm really intrigued how it's taken. Because also I've heard the director of the film, Adam Elliott, I think his name is, he hasn't made a film in 15 years, but he's been working on this one for 8.
Oh, wow. Gosh, that's amazing.
But I'm really intrigued with it, so I need to check this one out. And plus, I
Yeah.
love stop motion films. I mean, you know, most of them are. I mean, Wallace and Gromit,
Yeah.
obviously notable, and Coraline, and you know, Tim Burton as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like Frank Weenie and all that sort of thing. Like, I have to,
Yeah.
I have to go and check this one out.
Have you ever watched the stop motion, the Pinocchio version?
Yes, with Del Toro.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
That was
and
good.
that again, that one made me cry.
Yeah.
With the ending, like it just like poof.
Yeah.
But then what just made me laugh with the ending was how come Cricket was narrating his own death? You know, because he says in the film, they found me dead. And I'm like, why are you still talking then?
I mean,
And this is his ghost. You know what I mean? You know, he's like, so by the way, they found me dead. You know, and it was like, yeah, but you're narrating the story.
I mean, it's like Desperate Housewives. The woman that dies is the one that's narrating.
I never watched
the...
Desperate Housewives.
Well, you better jump on that.
Yes, because I want to see crazy women. You
No,
know,
it's
but
actually so much deeper than that. Let me
Oh,
tell
okay.
you. It's pretty great. It's not just a bunch of wives just chatting about their day. I mean, it is.
No. I thought it was about a bunch of wives trying to kill people.
I mean,
Because
no.
it's cool. Because when it was called Desperate Housewives, I was like, they're all going to kill their husbands.
Yeah, I
You
mean-
know, they're going to put their children up for adoption. You know, they're all going to go charge in blaze. Women rule the world. I thought it was that sort of movie.
I mean, it's definitely it's a series.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And it's definitely women rule the world, but not in that kind of way.
No. But then again, I don't think a film called Desperate Housewives will grab my attention. Again, it's like with Barbie. It wouldn't grab my
You
attention.
didn't like Barbie.
I had mixed feelings about it.
Really?
Okay, let me explain my point of view before I get this woman hate thing going on to me. By the way, I am more feminist than blokey, by the way. My wife says that she can back me up. But, right, I'll tell you the good things I like about Barbie.
Yeah.
Then I'll go into the next. Right, first off, the good thing about Barbie, Ryan Gosling, he is the star of the film.
Yeah.
He makes that film. His song was brilliant. I
Yeah.
did get that song stuck in my head. I do love that song. The set design, cinematography, performances, brilliant. I have a problem with its the problem with the film is it's not really a film that has, you say about storytelling.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's a film that has storytelling. It's a film that is spoon feeding audiences messages
Yeah.
after messages. And so I'm sitting here watching going, right, what am I
Yeah.
watching? Is this a film about a doll that wants to be human and wants to be blah, blah? Or am I watching a film about this is life, spoon
Yeah.
feed. This is life, spoon fed. This is life, spoon fed. I just felt like it was just monologues of being spoon fed.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm not
agree.
being funny as well. The tone of it was, I don't really know what this film is aimed for. Is it a family film? Is it for adults? Is it meant to be for teenage girls? Is it meant to be for adults? Because
Yeah.
1 minute it's a bit kiddie-ish, then
Yeah.
it's got adult jokes in it, but then there's swearing, there's sexual references, it's talking about body parts and stuff, and I'm kind of like, hang on a minute, I'm confused. Who is this actually aimed for?
Yeah.
Because all right, when I went to the cinema and I saw people, I mean, I didn't go to cinema to see Barbie, but I saw people going in. There were little girls with Barbie dolls, and there was elderly people, and I just was like, who is this actually aimed for? I was really confused.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It was a bit of a mess
Yeah.
in terms of how it was executed. But I can understand what it was trying to say. But at the same time, I kind of felt like saying, look, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I know how to behave.
Yeah.
I know what to say and I know what to do. But again, don't spoon feed me all this stuff.
I get that. I as a woman, I feel like I can say this because I didn't appreciate the last speech in the film.
No.
You know, where she has that whole speech about a woman is this, but a woman has to do this.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I completely understand, like, obviously women have struggles and you know, it's horrible and things need to change a lot more still. But yeah, I think the way that they went about it was very spoon-fed, like, and I felt like it could have been done in a much more subtle way. But then again, you know what? It was a great movie, great message, and...
Well, messages. That's what I'm saying. There was too many.
And you know what? It's kind of funny that the biggest character turned out to be a man.
I know. Ryan Gosling did save that film for me.
So it was a pretty interesting take on the whole women are great and then Ken is just the best part of the film.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was more into his arc than anything because he just entertained me so much. But again, I just felt like this whole, I mean, again, this is probably being a little bit controversial, but this is just my opinion. I hate the whole thing now of women are this, men are that, men can do this, women can do that. To me, I say it's everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care if someone says, yeah, men are this and women are that. I go, no. Don't forget, you're human as well. You're human. It doesn't matter whether you're a bloke, you're a woman, you're a child, you're a teenager, you're an elderly person.
Yeah.
We all are bad and good people at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have a narcissist side, a sinister side, an angry side, a happy side, a loving side, and a caring side, and also a non-caring side. And we also do all have a selfish side.
Yeah.
So stop saying men are selfish, women are this. No, you're all selfish. So shut up and just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't like the whole pointing finger stuff.
Yeah.
It really annoys me. So every time I hear, oh, this, I go, well, you must have done something in as well. Don't say that you have made mistakes.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes because we are all human beings.
Yeah.
So when I hear all this, he's done that and she's done this, and where I go, well, haven't you made a mistake? Don't get all judgmental and say this, that, and the other, because, like I said, we've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done stupid things. I've said stupid things, but at least I put my hands up to it and say, yeah, all right, I did say this, I did do that, but I didn't mean to cause any harm, but all right, I apologise, hands up. But at least I'm open to it. But then I say, but don't forget, you've probably done worse than what I have, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just my point of view. I mean, I don't know if you have to.
I can see that Barbie is such a great conversation starter.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, we all have these points of view of this, that, and
yeah.
And I'm saying, look, if you have your own point of view, that's fine.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, don't slap someone in the face about it, because, you know, we're all allowed different opinions.
Yeah.
We're all allowed to say different things. But what I don't like is when someone says, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
No, you're not right. I'm like, no, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how I feel. You've told me, so I'm telling you.
Yeah. The thing is, you're never going to learn if you don't listen to other people's opinions.
Exactly.
Whether you agree or disagree, you have to have these conversations.
Yes.
Like, it's good to know that, you know, for example, your opinion on Barbie is not on my level. But it's fine, because that's what opens us up to have these discussions.
Exactly.
And to learn from one another.
Exactly. And also to say that just because you have an opinion, it doesn't mean you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like being offended. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
And, you know, people do have the right to be offended. People do have the right to not like stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people need to understand that we all don't agree on the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's not trying to say, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're small, I'm smart, you're dumb. It's just...
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly, yeah. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. But basically, I'm just saying that that's how I think, and that's how, you know, and you don't have to agree with me, but we all should think about the other side as well a little bit and say, okay, fair enough, and then agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd go a long way if we did that.
Exactly. But unfortunately, there's too many small-minded people who want to be right all the time.
Yeah.
So there you go. But anyway, it's fine. We've got our points of view now, and I think we got it. But yeah, let's shake hands on it. There you go. So we just shook hands, so we're now agreeing.
We're good. We're even.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to play another track and more stuff coming up. So please stay tuned. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio. That was You Only Live Twice, instrumental main title theme from John Barry himself. Great composer. He did Born Free as well. He's such a good composer. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan.
And Jennifer Santos.
So, Jen, a review on your guesting on the show today. Let's hear that.
A review?
Yeah, your opinion today on this.
Yeah,
Since we're talking about opinions today, very opinion heavy.
I think that it's great. I love what you do here. You're very natural. It's just great. It's great fun. It's great to talk about movies. I love that it's all movie central. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. What else do you want?
Well, it's just also about the fact that, again, like I said, we're promoting indie filmmakers as well, trying to help them get them out there and everything, and also just talk about the projects that they're working on, everything, because like I said, no one wants to support any indie filmmakers. But saying that, right, this week I had a bit of a funny situation with my little self. So I've been working on this script called Bubblegum. I think some of my listeners will know what that is. And basically I was trying to apply for it to go to the BFI to get funded. There's this BFI thing that they release, and it was like, oh my God, this is perfect. And and all day the other day, I was sorting out the entire script. And I was like, this is perfect. The script is cleaned up. It looks good. I'm happy. This is going to be great. What happens? Turns out that they're asking for 15 pages, not 30. So I am absolutely livid that I just done that all day. And now I have to try and do the other script that I have to work on.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. I mean, after the short film that we did in December, I just got such a